A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A plus English, 'cause it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A plus way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A plus English.
Hello everyone, welcome to A Plus English. I'm Mike.
I'm Chickling.
And today we are going to begin our look at Taiwan's winter visitors. And no, I'm not talking about tourists from Korea and other places who we of course welcome. And they are very, very welcome to come here during the winter. But no, we're talking about winter visitors who will fly into the country like most tourists, but they do it with their own wings.
Cute.
Isn't that nice? They don't have to wait at airports, they don't have to buy tickets, but they do have to do all the flying on their own. Yes, of course, we're talking about migrant birds from the north who come south to where we are. Sometimes they stay here, sometimes they go further south, but Taiwan is a wonderful stop on their journey south away from the cold winter weather. How lucky would that be?
Yeah.
You'll just go on holiday every year on your own.
True.
Fly out. It's getting cold. Let's get out of here.
OK, 所以今天要讲候鸟，但是呢，有时候我们搬重物的时候，是不是会觉得东西真的太重了？好，这是因为今天我们得要讲一个很重要的片语，大家可以想一下，遇到这种情形的时候，你遇到一件事情太重了，搬不起来，这种时候你要怎么说太怎么样，以至于我不能干嘛呢？想一下这个，那我们先看一下今天的文章咯。
Taiwan's winter visitors, migrant birds from the north.
Every fall and winter, migrant birds fly south to Taiwan. They're mainly from Siberia, China, Japan, and the Korean Peninsula. In those places, winters are too cold for birds to survive. Food like seeds and insects become scarce, so birds cannot find enough to eat. To raise babies, birds need warmer places where young ones can live safely. Taiwan is one choice.
All right, so let's get into our article. And yes, this is something that happens all around the world as the seasons change. But here in our part of the world, as it says, every fall and winter, migrant birds fly south to Taiwan. They're on their way to the warmer parts during the winter time. Where do these birds come from? Well, look up to the north of where we are. They're mainly from Siberia, China, Japan, and the Korean Peninsula. They're not flying over here from Alaska or Canada or Russia or well, actually Siberia is Russia, but you know, just basically general areas to the north of Taiwan. And they head down here. Yeah.
所以呢，每年秋天跟冬天，候鸟就会往南飞，飞到我们台湾。那它们主要是来自于西伯利亚、中国或者是日本、朝鲜半岛。那我们刚刚看到的 migrant bird 这是候鸟的意思。那 peninsula 就是半岛的意思，就是那个像那个韩国那个 Korea， 你知道那块长这样的，那个叫做半岛。
Yeah, or Italy. Italy is a peninsula.
对对对对
Florida too as well.
很多都是一个那个样子。
And I guess if you go down to Kending, right? That Hengchun, I think that might be a peninsula. As well too.
Like
yeah, kind of. All right, anyways, back to our article. We have a good little question here. Do you like fall or winter more? And 为什么？
为什么？因为 baby fall.
Fall?
Yeah, I just feel like it's not that cold.
Pumpkin spice latte?
Yes, and it just feels romantic. I don't know.
It is nice, isn't it? The changing of the leaves.
Yes.
It's kind of nice. As a kid, I don't know, it's the beginning of the school year. So maybe fall wasn't my favorite. Winter's fun, right? You got Christmas.
But you're not a big fan of snow.
Well, I know. You got Christmas, then you got New Year, then it's terrible until the spring.
Okay.
But Christmas and New Year are fun. But I think I'm with you. Fall is nice. And you can still go outside and, you know, your nose and ears won't fall off. Back to our article, it says, in those places like Korea, Japan, and of course, Russia and northern China, winters are too cold for birds to survive and also many people, or at least too cold to be happy in those places because it gets very, very cold.
对
Yes.
所以在这一些，因为那一些他们来自于的地方太冷了嘛，西伯利亚那些地方冬天会变很冷，鸟类没有办法生存。所以我们今天刚刚讲到的太怎么样，以至于不能怎么样，就是前面的形容词或副词程度太，导致后面的动作不能发生，其实就是 to 片语。比如说 the box is too heavy to lift， 这个箱子太重了，搬不起来。Okay.
Yes, exactly right. So why do they leave? Well, you can probably figure this out. Food, like seeds and insects, becomes scarce, so birds cannot find enough to eat. So it's not just that the temperature drops, it's that all that snow and ice arrive, and of course the leaves fall off the trees aren't producing fruit, the insects maybe hide under the ground or, travel themselves. So basically it's just really hard to survive in an icy, cold environment for many of these birds. So they get the heck out of there, which is smart.
Yeah. 所以呢，种子啊或昆虫这样子食物就会变得比较稀少，因为天气很冷，那这个鸟儿就找不到足够的食物。So I have a very cute question.
Okay.
So what food do you like to eat more? Like, do you eat more in the wintertime?
Oh, a food. Okay, it's not really a Taiwanese food, but when I think of a food that's great in winter, not so great in summer, I think of the classic Canadian poutine.
Fries on the
French fries with cheese and gravy. Very heavy, very rich, very salty. I've been to parties in Taiwan for like Canada Day where they serve it. In Taiwan, Canada Day, July, it's 35 degrees. You don't really want to be eating French fries and hot cheese and gravy. But poutine is from Quebec, where it's very cold in the winter. So when we were playing ice hockey, when you're out, clearing the snow or skiing, after your body gets cold, a wonderful poutine would be great. Kind of like in Taiwan, I think I eat nyoro mian or hot pot. I eat that more in the winter, right? Because the hot soup, it warms you up. Yep. So I think, hot things like that are much better when your body is cold. Or when you're also, because in the cold, you use a lot of energy, right? To keep warm.
Cute, very cute.
Yeah. All right, back to our article. It says also, here's another good reason that we might not think about why the birds travel south: to raise babies, to have their, lay their eggs and raise their young, or to raise babies. Birds need warmer places where young ones can live safely. Yeah, you'd lay an egg and then it would be a frozen egg after an hour, and that would be no good for the little egg. So Taiwan is one choice. As they're going, some of them stop here in Taiwan, and of course some of them will continue on to, Vietnam or Indonesia or further south.
对，所以为了要这个抚育幼小的鸟，这些鸟就需要更温暖、安全的地方，那台湾就是其中一个选择。Scarce 就是形容词，它是稀有的、缺乏的意思。粮食短缺的英文，我们可以说 food is scarce， 代表没有食物的意思。所以通常在这个战争的期间就会没有食物吃。During the war, food was scarce。战争期间食物非常的少。那我们也可以说资源没有很多 scarce resources。比如说 clean water is a scarce resource in some countries， 在一些国家干净的水是稀缺的资源。那我们看一下另外一个句子，这边指的是比较少工作机会。比如说 jobs are scarce in this poor village, so young people move to cities。 因为这个贫穷的村子工作机会比较少，所以这个年轻人就会搬到城市去。那我们刚刚有提到这些鸟啊，在太冷的天气没有办法去喂养他们的小孩。Raise 就是这个养育的意思，或喂养。那也可以举手，也是这个字。You can raise your hand if you have any questions. Raise your hand。比如说 She raised her hand to ask a question。她举手提问，或者是去养育小孩子，就像我们文章中的意思。They raised 3 kids in a happy home。他们在幸福的家庭里面养育了3个孩子。或者是有时候你们需要筹钱或募款，也可以说 raise money。比如说 The charity raised money for homeless people。 对，慈善机构呢为这些无家可归的人呢筹备资金。那我们看另外一个句子， Miss Yates is a single mother, so she's raising her 2 children by herself. Yates 小姐是一个单亲的妈妈，所以她独自了抚养2个小孩。
Taiwan lies on a major bird route where birds fly south to Australia. What's more, Taiwan has rich habitats like wetlands, rivers, and forests. These provide different kinds of birds with enough food and safe places to rest. Some common migrant birds are black-faced spoonbills and Eurasian teals.
All right, so next it says, and kind of explaining why Taiwan is such a popular place for these birds, Taiwan lies on a major bird route where birds fly south to Australia. That's a long way from Japan.
Yeah.
So all the way down through Taiwan, I guess maybe the Philippines and over to like Indonesia or Vietnam, all the way south. Yeah, actually you could, really. I mean, they still have to fly over a lot of the ocean, but eventually some of them will go as far as Australia. It's kind of like Taiwan is one of those highway rest stops.
Yep.
You know, when you're driving down south or up north in Taiwan, they have those places on the highway and there's a gas station, there's bathrooms, there's a restaurant, and you can kind of stop there for half an hour, stretch your legs a little bit, get a snack, and then keep going. And that's sort of what Taiwan is for many of these birds. But of course, their trip takes many days and months and weeks and months longer.
真的，所以就像是一个鸟儿的休息站，因为我们台湾位于一条主要的候鸟迁徙路线的上面，所以他们就沿这条路线一直往南飞到澳洲。Route 或者是 route 有路线的意思。
That's right. Do you say route or route?
Route. I don't know. Sometimes I say en route.
You said en route. Okay.
En route.
I think route's a bit more of an Americanism.
Okay.
Canadians and British people might say route. Anyways, back to the article. It says, what's more, or in addition, here's another thing. Taiwan has rich habitats like wetlands, rivers, and forests. So it's a really nice highway rest stop with really good restaurants.
很高级。
Not just like smelly bathrooms in a 7-Eleven. So that's nice.
对。所以台湾很棒啊，我们有丰富的栖息地，我们有湿地 wetland 就是湿地，因为湿的地嘛，很好记。然后它是一个动植物的栖息地 habitat 就是栖息地。So, Mike, do you enjoy nature?
No, I hate nature.
Okay, no,
Hate it.
really?
I love plastic. Everything plastic for me. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm sure I love nature. When I go back to Canada, I love walking in the woods near my mom's house. I love to see green around me. Wow. Living in Taipei, I kind of wish we were a bit closer to nature.
True.
You know, we have like this wonderful river, these rivers that go through the city, but they have the walls. I know for floods, but you know, it kind of feels like nature's a little too far from you if you live in the middle of a big city here. But yeah, it's wonderful. And I think it really is good for people, right? To get out in nature and see green trees and all that kind of, and birds as well. Back to our article, it says these, the wetlands and the different places that the birds can rest and get more food in them on their journey. It says these provide different kinds of birds with enough food and safe places to rest. Some of them will find forest areas, river areas, or maybe be on the coast near the oceans.
所以这些地方呢，会为不同种类的鸟提供足够的食物跟安全的休息处。
Now, we're going to actually name some of our visitors. It says some common migrant birds are black-faced spoonbills and Eurasian teals. I think a teal is a type of duck, but I'm not quite sure. The spoonbills are famous. I remember seeing in the newspaper reports about, the first spoonbills have been seen. You know, they're kind of waiting for them to come, like they're signs of the coming winter or, of course, the spring as they travel back to the north at the end of the winter.
所以我们常见的候鸟像是什么？有黑面琵鹭跟小水鸭。所以 major 这边是形容词，是重要的、主要的意思。那当名词有主修课程，比如说你的大学主修，像说我们可以讲 Her college major is psychology。好，那当形容词就是主要的。OK， 那我们看另外一个句子。The MRT is a major way to travel around Taipei. 捷运是台北的主要交通方式之一。那我们有看到 provide 这一个动词，它是提供的意思。我们常常说提供帮助 provide help。比如说 the teacher provided help to the student， 老师给这个学生提供了帮助。 或者是说呢，供应什么东西，供应午餐好了。The school provides lunch for students, so they don't need to bring any food. 因为学校有供应午餐，所以学生们就不需要去自备自己的食物。
Review time.
All right, we have a quick question here. We're talking about birds, of course, but there are many other animals that have to live in cold parts of the world. So what are some other ways that animals survive the winter, apart from just leaving?
They get into like a kind of like a deep sleep-like state.
Ooh, yeah,
Like
hibernate.
Yeah, hibernate.
They hibernate. That's right. They save a bunch of
to
food.
conserve energy, right?
That's exactly right.
So
yeah.
they don't have to eat. They
That's
just
a
sleep.
really good one. Another one I'm always impressed with, they change color.
Oh.
Right? Like the Arctic fox, the Arctic hare, the snowy owl. They stay in those cold parts of the world. But in the summertime, they're kind of gray or brown. And then in the wintertime, they become white. Their hair just changes color like magic.
Why though?
Which is kind of cool.
That's so cool. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, they can't be hunted and things like that. And other animals like me, well, I wear more sweaters and stay home more often.
And you eat poutine.
And eat poutine or year-round. Yes, exactly. So you guys can, of course, answer that question yourselves. I'm sure there are some other great examples.
所以如果喜欢今天内容，记得按赞、订阅、开启小铃铛，就不会错过我们任何精彩的内容喽。拜拜。
Take care.
掌握最新时事主题，立即下载空中美语 App， 免费收听当期完整杂志。